everyone, welcome back today. I have a bit of a hodgepodge video for you today. It's gonna be kind of a mix of both a sit-down video in front of my big camera and a vlog, both into one video. I was actually sitting down to do an empties video because I've been collecting all that stuff since we moved here, and we're getting ready to get out of this place and move, so it all needs to make its way into the recycling very soon. So I thought I would share that before it goes into the recycling bin. But I thought it might be a little bit boring just doing an empties video, so I figured I'd also show you a few new things that are in my closet right now. A few things that I've been loving and that I haven't shared here yet, or haven't had a chance to share. And then in addition to that, I'm just gonna keep vlogging for the day. It's already into the afternoon. It's like 4 o'clock now, but I thought I might as well vlog the rest of the evening. I think we're gonna be doing a little bit of packing. We're starting with Ken's stuff downstairs, organizing paperwork and all that. And then I'm also gonna be going over to the school to meet Ken. It's our last few days here in Fontainebleau. So I'm gonna go over there and meet him for a beer. And then there's also a little event happening at the school. I'm not sure if I'll be able to film that, but I hope I will be because I think it's gonna be quite funny if I can. And then I also have a few little fun, more apartment antics to share with you. So I'll share that a little bit later on. But for right now, I'm just going to get into the empties stuff. Fast forward a couple minutes if you're not interested in seeing all the products I've used up in the last 6 months, or most of them, what I've remembered to save. And I'll just share whether I liked it or not, if I'm gonna repurchase, all that kind of stuff in a usual empties video. And I'm gonna do it in front of my big camera. So we're gonna switch over to the window. I haven't set up my camera yet, but I'm gonna set up over here with this guy. Let's go for it. All right, here we are in our usual spot. So I have a big bag of stuff I've been collecting. I think I've actually thrown away quite a bit by accident. I tried my best to remember to save all this stuff, but I'm sure I've used more than just this in the last 6 months. But a huge bag of random stuff here. So this is all like beauty related stuff. It's not household. I know a lot of people like show their laundry detergent and stuff that they used up and whether they'd reuse it again, but this is all just, I just kept it all beauty. So the first thing on top here is an L-Net satin hairspray. Travel size, I pretty much always buy travel size because we're on the go all the time. This one's all right. I mean, I wouldn't write home about it. I don't particularly like the smell of it. I find it gets caught in my throat a lot. Kind of smells like a grandma's house or something. But it did the trick. Up next is the classic Head and Shoulders. Neither Ken and I really have itchy, dry scalp or anything. I just really like the way this stuff lathers. So if it's on the shelf, this is usually what I'll pick up versus all the other stuff. There's a lot of these. The Batiste travel size, and I get the full size as well. This one's a blush. Use one, two. That's weird. There's gotta be more somewhere. But then I also have 2 of the large ones. I tend to buy the original. I don't know, it's just the most safe smelling to me. It's just simple, smells simple. And then I have another big one here. This one's just called the Fresh. I don't even really remember what that one smells like. Yeah, it smells fresh, no complaints. For years I was using the Dove dry shampoo but I always just seem to come back to the Batiste. The Dove stuff I think I liked more as a texture spray. It didn't really clean your hair, but Batiste, if you really put a ton of this stuff in your hair, it works really well. It makes my hair feel nice and clean, but it does give you that kind of white cast, like it almost brightens my roots a little bit, so if you're brunette, maybe not for you. Up next is one of these Garnier Active micellar water. It's all in French, so I couldn't tell you anything else it says on it. I think it says it's good for sensitive eyes, dermatologist tested. I've used up at least 2 of those since we've got here. I've used a ton of these things up. The Garnier Active Hydro Balm. I like the charcoal black mask one as well. I've used quite a few of those up. The John Frieda Conditioner, Full Repair, Strengthen and Restore. I didn't really like this stuff. I like a conditioner that's like when you put it into your hand, you could lift your hand upside down and it would stick. This is a little bit more wet and I didn't feel like it did anything amazing for my hair. So I kind of raced through it, used too much at once just to kind of make my way through it and get on to the next one. We used up several Sensodynes. I think I kept this one in particular because we hated it. It's called the Complete, it's all in French obviously, with the gold label on it. It tastes like cinnamon and it was really weird to be brushing your teeth with cinnamon. We were like a really fresh like peppermint or even a spearmint, But this was another one we were just using like massive amounts of it just to get through it. You don't want to throw it out, waste it, but did not like this stuff. If you see this gold label, just know it's cinnamon. This is the regular one that we usually go for, Sensodyne. No idea. I think that means like complete whitening or something. It's all right. We always go for Sensodyne. We both have really sensitive teeth. The Sensodyne doesn't seem to be quite as strong here in France as it is back home, because both of us find we have more sensitive teeth here than we did back home ever since we switched toothpaste to the French Sensodyne. I have another Batiste. It was hiding at the bottom here. I think I have quite a few of the blush ones just because our store doesn't stay that well stocked and sometimes they don't have an option. Often they don't have these, so when they do have them in stock, I'll tend to buy like a whole whack of them just to make sure that I'm good for the next time that we travel. Ken used up one of these Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate. He loves this stuff. He's been using it for years and years. It's a little heavy for my skin, so if I use it, I just mix it into my regular face lotion that I have down here I'll share. But his skin is definitely much less sensitive and he loves this stuff. He puts it on every morning, I believe. And then deodorant, we've gone through a bunch of these. This is one of these things that you cannot get here in France. They're big into the aerosols here and we don't like the aerosols. We like the regular stuff. So we got a bunch of these off Amazon. I love men's deodorant. It works way better than women's deodorant. I actually love the way it smells too. I don't mind smelling like a man. We always get the same one. We both wear it, love it. We purchase that over and over and over again. A few more things. I used up these, again, all in French, but it is like those nose strips that you can put on your pores to get rid of all the little whiteheads and stuff. They don't work that well on my skin. I can see the whiteheads, but it doesn't really pick up anything. So I don't know if that's the brand or I just need something a little more heavy duty for my skin, but yeah, probably wouldn't repurchase those. I actually just purchased them because I really liked the look of the packaging. I love that like peachy color with the turquoise kind of color mix there. My face lotion, I used up one of these. It's the La Roche-Posay Hydrophase Intense Light. They make this in a heavier version as well. Didn't like that, was too heavy for my skin. This is very, very, very light. I wish they had like a in-between one that would be perfect for my skin, but started using this probably about a year before we even left for France, and just so happens it's made here in France, so it was very easy for me to get my hands on again, and it works really well for my skin. I put it underneath my makeup, my skin just soaks it up, and it makes my skin a perfect canvas for a full face of makeup for the day, but there's no SPF in it, so I also wear an SPF under this as well. Two beauty products that I used up. One of them is this Maybelline Master Camo. I included this in one of my favorites and I've been using it for a very, very long time. I'm surprised it actually lasted me that long. I've only bought one of these in the last 6 months. I do only use a tiny bit right underneath my eyes, but this little thing goes a long way. And then the last item are my mascaras. You've probably seen me talk about these a million times. My go-to mascara. I've used these for years and years and years. I honestly don't even remember using another mascara as religiously as I use this one. I've tested a few others for a few days here and there and just does not compare to these tubing mascaras. They are the best. It's the L'Oreal Double Extend. Does it have an actual name? I think it's just called L'Oreal Double Extend. It's one of those ones that has the double end, so you put the primer on and then the black side on once the white coat has already dried. It's tubing mascara, it's the best. It does not come off unless you use warm water on your hands, so if you're teary or you're in bad weather, that's not going anywhere. It lifts your lashes beautifully, it stays in place, super easy to get off. All I do is warm up my hands and then place my fingers over my lashes like that and they'll just like fall away basically. Highly, highly recommend these, but there is a specific way to apply them. If you haven't watched that video yet, I'll link it down below because if you buy it and try it and hate it, there's probably a good reason for it. It's because you're not using it properly. So go watch that video if you haven't. I think that's all I've got to share for Empties. I can finally throw all this stuff away. We're starting to pack up things tomorrow, getting organized. We're off on the weekend. Today is Wednesday, we leave Saturday. So by the time this video goes up, we are already in our next spot. So if you're at all curious about that, make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I know I say it all the time, but it's just Andrea Claire with the first A, has 2 A's in it, and I'm sure there'll be tons happening over there on my Instagram stories, sharing a bit of our new place in our new city. Yeah, so next part of the video, I'm gonna head over to my closet and I'm gonna show you a few things that I have got in recently that I think are worth sharing. Let's go over there. So here we are in the corner of my wardrobe. If you saw the house tour, then you would know that this is all hanging behind me, and then this is all hang storage here, and then on the corner I also have folded items, but we're gonna hang over here in this corner for today. So the first thing I wanted to share was this little dress from Shein. If you followed me along on Instagram, you would have seen my whole war tour that I did with my mom, uncle, and aunt. Last week we went into the north of France and up into Belgium actually, and then back over to the coast doing a whole tour of a bunch of war areas. We went to like Vimy Ridge and the D-Day beaches and all that. I'll be sharing that at some point because it was kind of a life-changing trip. But one of the days, actually the only day that we had real sun, I wore this little dress and I absolutely loved it. And for the price, I think it actually is pretty good quality. It's from Shein.com. So that's one of those websites where it's a little bit like hit and miss. You probably don't want to purchase too many things from there unless you're willing to throw them out or some of them out, because a lot of their items are misses. But this one to me is a hit. I think it was around the $20 mark. Don't quote me on that. I'll have it all linked down below obviously, but I think it was around there. White and yellow gingham dress that is tight in the waist here, and then midi-ish length, comes below the knees. So nice, very ladylike, pretty kind of dress. Comes with a really cheap little belt that is in the same fabric as the dress, which I used to hate, but now I really love. It kind of reminds me of Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. So I wore it with the belt, but obviously you can put something else on. It has little buttons, fabric buttons down the back, and then it's actually meant to be worn off the shoulder with these straps up over your shoulder, but I didn't really like the way that looked. I don't like this strapped look with an off the shoulder. If you're gonna go off the shoulder, I just go all the way off the shoulder and do no straps. Because the dress is kind of poorly made, it doesn't really fit on the shoulder. It kind of just droops down, doesn't sit quite where I wanted it to. So what I ended up doing is putting the strap inside the dress like I've just done, and then I pulled the shoulder right up over my shoulder here, so it gave it like a square neckline, which actually happens to be very much on trend right now. So for me, that worked perfectly. I think I might actually cut these straps off at some point because they were a little tight underneath my armpit, and they don't fit right over the shoulder. So I think I'll probably just cut them off, but it worked so perfectly that way. I absolutely loved it. So even if I get only a few wears out of this dress, I think it's totally worth it, but I think I'm gonna grab for it many more times throughout the summer. And it's light and breezy too, like a really nice flowy fabric, really pretty. Awesome find. If it's still available, make sure you go pick up one because it's a good one. It's a good one. Another little find I got recently in the same order actually was this little dress. Unfortunately, this one didn't work out for me because, again, another thing with that website, Shein.com, is that the sizing isn't really on. So I originally had a small in my basket, but I saw the measurements in the waist weren't going to fit me quite. So I went for the medium, and it is literally like 4 inches too wide for me in the waist, like right here at the small of the waist where I want it to fit nicely. So I'm debating whether I'll just have it altered or if I should just get another one. It probably cost about the same. I think it was like 15 or 16 bucks. So it'll probably cost me about that much to completely alter it. But I think it is super cute. It's a really nice lightweight fabric for summer. Has that like cute picnic-y kind of look to it. Has adjustable ties at the top here, and the center part is also adjustable so you can reveal or not reveal as much as you want. A nice zip all the way up the back, and if it fit me in the waist, it would be super, super cute. It even has little pockets in the front here. So yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good buy if you get it in the right size. I think that's it for in this closet that I'm going to share for today, but there is one more item over here that I'm going to show you. One sec. So these I also got very, very recently. They're little culotte style pants, but in a very summery version. Oh, we're way overexposed here. So they're basically just a little culotte style pant, again from Shein, so they were very inexpensive, but they come down quite long, wide leg pant, and they sit right at the top of your waist here. And then I wore them with just a plain little white tank top, and I wore them again with a white tank top, my denim jacket. I'll put in a few different pictures of me wearing them here. I've worn them like 3 or 4 times since I've got them, and I've only had them a couple weeks, which is, for me, a really good sign. Things tend to just sit in my closet for a while. But I think these are a great little buy for summer. Kind of a trendy item. I mean, you could wear them again next year. I'm sure they'll still be in style, but I'm sure there'll be a whole nother pant that's the big thing to have for next summer. So I think these are a really great price point for something that might not make it into your next season. Great for wearing around the pool. Flowy little summer pool dress. I think it would look so cute with like a bright colored bikini top or something, and then these just cover your bottom half while you're walking around the pool or around the beach. They are quite thin, I will say that. They're not gonna show everything, but I wore them with little biker shorts underneath them, and you couldn't see those shorts, but it just made me feel a little more comfortable that people weren't seeing all the goods. So yes, I think I also got these in a medium, and they fit me perfectly. I have about a 26-inch waist here at the top, like right at the small of my waist. It's about 26 inches, and these fit me pretty much perfectly. So if you're about that size, there you go, summer pant. And the last item I'm gonna show is something I probably shouldn't have bought because it's an awkward thing to pack. It's gonna be a bit bulky to pack, but it is this little bag. This style of bag is very, very trendy right now, this like fish netting looking kind of bag. There is another one from Mango. If you're not into the pink, there's another one from Mango that I really, really love as well. It's like a tan kind of color with this camel colored netting on top of it. I think it comes in a few different colors, so I'll make sure I'll link that down below. This was an inexpensive version of the real fancy designer bag ones. I think this was around 30 US dollars as well, again from Shein.com. Yeah, it's just that classic bucket bag style, so it's got lots of space in there. It comes with a little canvas bag in there as well, but I just kind of stuffed that inside. But I love the big chunky handles and the really soft pink. I think I could probably also take the whole pink thing out of here too and just make it like a really simple sack-like bag, because those are also very trendy at the moment. So I think it's kind of 2-in-1. But yeah, this is what's making me very excited right now. I'm very, very happy with this bag, even though I'm not totally sure how I'm gonna pack it. So I think that's all I have to share for now. I haven't been buying too many things because obviously we're making the move and I don't want to accumulate too many more things before we actually take off. But those are the things that I have loved the most, that I've ordered most recently. Yeah, so let's continue with the rest of the vlog. I'm gonna pick up my vlog camera again, wherever it went. Here it is. I think for now I'm just gonna edit what I've already filmed, and I will see you a bit later. All right, we are off to school. I found the husband. So we're going off to an event called Applesauce. Do you know why they call it applesauce?
No idea.
So basically it is students who have volunteered to do a presentation in front of whoever shows up. But the catch is they have no idea what the presentation is about. They're given a slideshow, right?
I think so.
Slideshow of some kind, and they just have to read the slide and make up a presentation to go along with it. And apparently it's quite funny, so we're gonna go watch this one. I've never seen it before, but we've heard good reviews, plus an excuse to go get some beer. The diet is not going well, obviously. In terms of other moving news, Ken tried to go to our cell phone provider to cancel our contracts this morning, and they basically told him that we can't help you. We've had a few issues with our cell phones, so we had a feeling it wasn't going to be easy, but we ended up calling a number that they gave us when we got home, and they didn't really want to help us either. In fact, they were quite rude to him. They told us we had to mail in old-fashioned snail mail proving that we were leaving the country, and that's why we were canceling the contract. And then so Ken was like, what's that process like? And the guy was like, well, you can start by grabbing a pen. Oh man, just another kick in the ass. So we have to mail in old-fashioned style to the company explaining why we need to cancel our contracts, rather than, like, we can't do anything in the store. We couldn't pay our bill, we can't cancel our phones. I don't know why they have a shop, but anyways, more frustrating parts of moving around the world.
Les Salon, fabulous place. However, I do still feel I look a bit homeless at times, so let's see what we have. We talk about haircuts, but really let's address the real issue, which is the USD to Indian rupee exchange rate. And what that has done to the Indian students in poverty in need of haircut.
their history, rolling in mud and all that. This actually, I think what really affected it was the African sun. It's very, 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 very hot down at the equator. So it started out white and transitioned to brown. What's it do to do, right? If there's anything I've learned from macro, it is that you can actually pull off a presentation when you don't know what you're talking about.
I would like Tinky Winky, like that. We have a Dipsy, which is not like tipsy. They're very good.
They look like bandits, but they're sweethearts. And why our future depends on them. The future is a scary place.
All right, we are back home from the event. We're pretty hungry now, so we've ordered pizza. Not good for the diet. But because we're leaving in a couple days, we're trying to eat the last few little bits of food. We don't really have any proper food left, so we're ordering pizza, Ken's favorite. He's on the couch now. We're watching The Office, and I'm making some popcorn as an appetizer because we are starving. So while we wait for pizza, popcorn appetizer. Okay, put your hand out. There you go.
Merci.
Perfectly cooked popcorn. It's the best. It's happening. Ken is organizing closet number 1. That is an absolute disaster. It's full of paperwork. The beginnings of moving. Getting organized. A lot of paperwork after 6 months abroad. So we have to go through everything. Every piece of paper. This pile is all health insurance related. Recycle. I think we're gonna leave the vlog here. We're gonna enjoy our pizza. Pizza party night. Finish some packing. He wants no part in this. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.